During the holiday season, we all love watching our favorite Christmas-themed specials, and on this channel, I love to talk about some childhood franchises. So, join me today as I talk about one of my strongest hyperfixations that have officially been going around for almost 3 years now, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. Trolls, specifically Dreamworks Trolls. It's very rare that a hyperfixation of mine stays around consistently for months and months, because usually how it goes is like, I'll be obsessed for a couple of months or maybe even a whole year, and then it'll go away for a couple of years, and then maybe it'll come back when new content resurges or I just remember that it exists. With Trolls, this is a very different case. Now, I've actually been an OG fan, believe it or not.
I'm not infected. I have papers to prove I'm not infected.
I was here when the first movie came out. I remember seeing ads for it before it even came out, and I loved it. We had a Cooper and a Guy Diamond plush. It was awesome. And I actually remember seeing the Be Goes On clips as they were coming out, like as the episodes were releasing. I watched World Tour when it first came out, and of course I watched Band Together, which is now where I consider it a hyperfixation. I always loved Trolls, but I feel like it wasn't an actual obsession until I watched Band Together. Now I do everything in my power to learn anything and everything I can about the franchise, and by anything, I mean anything. Like, do you guys actually know Branch is scared of birds? Do you even know the vendor troll? Or that puppy has a last name in spring water? In this video, I'm going to be yapping about the 2 Christmas specials that we have, and at the end, I'm going to give my thoughts on them, and of course, my idea for a 3rd one. So if this all intrigues you, stick around. Alright, so first things first, I think it's important to mention that both holiday specials are actually canon to the movies. I feel like most people don't realize this for some reason, which means it's actually recommended by lore-obsessed freaks such as myself to watch the holiday specials if you do a binge of the Trolls universe and want to understand its lore. You might actually be missing some crucial information from them. For example, the first holiday special shows Branch's journey to becoming the teal color that we know him as in the 2nd movie, as well as learning to smile and become more positive. It also shows Bridget's new hair that she has at the end of World Tour, which I love this hair, but it's actually a weave. And the 2nd holiday special is even more important, I'd say much more important to the lore of the movies, for a couple of different reasons, but ones I'll dive into later on, but to touch the surface of it, mainly because it is officially when Branch and Poppy start becoming boyfriend and girlfriend.
It's exciting to take these characters who have, you know, over the last, how many years, like 10 years almost, have kind of grown closer over these 3 films and the 2 holiday specials.
Okay, so, there is also an interview where he explicitly says in the holiday special they started dating, but I literally can't find it for the life of me. I swear to God I'm not making this up. I shared this clip with everybody back when I was obsessed with Trolls Twitter. I don't know where it went. I literally don't know, so if anybody knows the interview, let me know. There's just so many interviews with Walt, but there's an interview where it specifically says that in the Holiday and Harmony, they start dating. Anyways, let's talk about the plot of the first movie. So the first holiday special is titled, very simply, Trolls Holiday, and released in 2017, a year after the first movie. We can already see a significant improvement on the animation despite being only a year after the first, and we pick up pretty soon after the events of the first movie. Something really interesting about both of the holiday specials is that we see Branch get ready in the morning. He's in his robe in the first and completely butt naked in the 2nd one. I don't know why they love to use this as a way to give the simps what they want, but my sister appreciates it very much. Anyways, where was I? Right, though this one is a little more lighthearted and silly, as the plot of it is trying to find a holiday that Bridget and Gristle can celebrate in Bergentown. Since this is very freshly after Trollstice is over and they're done with that holiday, they want a new holiday that they can celebrate with the Bergens that isn't so, So Poppy wants to help Bridget figure out what new holiday that they can take from the Trolls and give it to the Bergens. And, well, Trolls, they celebrate pretty much everything, like literally every day is a holiday for them, and I love that this is consistent within even the shows as well. There are so many holidays. I mean, just look at this list of holidays we've got. It's actually wild. So of course, Poppy doing what she does best, she's going to make a huge deal about this. So she presents the holidays with a huge Broadway level production. We're talking costumes, glitter, spiders, Biggie has no pants. It's crazy. And this is the part where me and my sisters crack up every single time. There are just so many ridiculous holidays. I kid you not, Double Down Speed Round is definitely one of my favorite songs from the entire Trolls franchise. It's so funny, it's so catchy, and the full version on streaming platforms, oh, you guys are missing out. I thought that was the full song in the short. Oh, no. There's so much more to the song, and it's even more peak. You gotta check it out. It's so good. And there's one part in the song that is censored, but this is what I imagine the uncensored version sounding like.
Say anything like.
And he even gets a tattoo, which, if you didn't know, he was supposed to have in Band Together. There was going to be a scene where they're at the water park that they talk about, and he has the tattoo, but for some reason they deleted the scene, which I'm very upset about because I love that they actually tied this in with the holiday special, and it could have really been great proof that this is canon, but whatever. The Band Together deleted scenes are just, I'm mourning them every day. Which, by the way, shameless plug here, go check out my deleted scenes video because I deep dive into all of the deleted scenes and how important a lot of them are. And eventually Bridget has enough and it's like, after this, Poppy and Bridget have a fight, if you could even call it that. As Branch describes, it's the nicest fight ever. It really is, because they're really not even arguing, which, honestly, as someone who also avoids conflict at any given chance, this is kind of true to how I try to argue with people. So Poppy gets upset and goes out into the woods to cry for that argument that really wasn't much, but in her eyes, that was like the worst argument, and she thinks she lost Bridget as a friend, which is definitely an over-exaggeration, but that's Poppy's thing. And Branch decides to use reverse psychology on her and starts bombarding her with a bunch of songs and creatures and a lot of loud noises, and she realizes, oh my god, that's what I was doing to Gristle this whole time. I was literally not listening to anybody, and I just kept going with my fire song, but definitely a disruptive song at that. And eventually they end up deciding, you know what, let's celebrate a holiday that's just made for the Bergens. Why steal a holiday from the Trolls when they could make a holiday for themselves? So they create a Christmassy holiday to celebrate the Trolls' bond with them. Instead of the bond that makes them eat them, now Bergens celebrate the Trolls and them being friends, which is just so precious. And I seriously don't understand if Todd and Chad are siblings or dating. Siblings are dating Final Boss. I don't understand. Are they related or are they not? It's really not the Trolls franchise without a lot of dirty jokes, so as usual, it has quite a few dirty jokes in it. They have this with Cloud Guy.
Train, ride this train. Come on, ride it. Who's driving the bus?
Maybe it's not really dirty, but you can interpret that way. And Guy Diamond makes out with himself, which you go king. So, what are my concluding thoughts about the first Trolls holiday special? Well, I think it's super underrated, and it's funny, it's lighthearted, and I think the moral of the story is super important for kids, and maybe even some adults nowadays. Everyone celebrates holidays differently, and every holiday is special and unique in its own way, no matter what we're celebrating. Everyone celebrates Christmas a little differently, and I think we should respect that instead of being judgmental. Me and my sisters actually watched this for the first time when we were really sick, and we were laughing so hard that we forgot we were sick for a few minutes, and I think that's really special. So yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. It's currently on Netflix as of filming this, but I think we all know it's not going to last very long, so take that with a grain of salt. Now let's move on to the second one that takes place right after World Tour and right after Trollstopia, Holiday in Harmony. Now, I feel the need as a legal action to explain to you guys, if you hate on Trollstopia,
get out.
I am a Trollstopia defender till I die, so I am a little eyebrow raising towards you, but whatever, you have your opinion, I respect yours, I don't agree, but I will respect it. Anyways, Trollstopia is the second Trolls cartoon show, and it is so peak, and Holiday in Harmony takes place right after it, as it includes two characters from Trollstopia, Val and Holly. It's tricky with the shows because they're semi-canon, so basically anything that contradicts the movies, that's not canon, but otherwise, everything else could be considered canon. That's the easiest way I can put it. Anyways, let's get into the plot. So, Holiday in Harmony is all about Secret Santa. Branch got Poppy, which is kind of like the worst thing to ever happen because, one, he's in love with her, but two, because Poppy has everything. Like, she is happy with everything, she can get anything because she's literally the princess. Poppy is very difficult to get presents for. She's the classic type of person where it's like, I don't know what to get you because you think everything is special. In Trollstopia, Branch calls her out for this, and Buck and Branch, yes, the episode's called that. He calls her out and says, like, you think everybody's special, so it's just hard when you're gonna enjoy every present the same as any other one. It's just very difficult. Branch is freaking out, especially because he sees that Poppy's gift is humongous.
So big!
He's struggling. After seeing how giant Poppy's gift is, he's like, I'm going big or going home. So he makes this elaborate scheme to create this invention for her. It blows up, quite literally, and he breaks his butt.
I think I broke my butt.
So after that, he has to think of what else to do, and he's kind of just running out of options, and he's not feeling very confident about it. But then he gets a brilliant idea to make something a lot smaller, but much more meaningful. He decides to scrapbook. It's so cute. It's so cute. Why do they have a healthier relationship than some other people in real life? It's so cute. I love it so much. He scrapbooks for Poppy, which, in my opinion, shows exactly how I feel about presents. I don't care if my present is super small. If it has sentimental value, that means 10 times more to me than anything else. Like, if it's literally, I don't know, a grain of salt, but maybe that grain of salt has some sort of really deep meaning to it, that's what matters. And we find out that Poppy's present, you know, the giant one, there's nothing in it. She couldn't figure out what to get Branch because
when I tried to think about what to get the coolest troll in the whole world, I totally drew a blank.
And this adorable giggle happens. And there's also a subplot with Tiny Diamond, and this is where he officially becomes the new face of the franchise. For a while, Guy Diamond was kind of the character they used when they didn't know who else to include besides Poppy and Branch. Once he had a son, everybody fell in love with his son, and the commercials were playing all day every single day in my household of him singing his rap from World Tour. So he started to become more popular than Guy Diamond, and this is the start of him becoming a much more important character. And unfortunately, after this, we don't really see Guy Diamond with him anymore. I mean, yes, in the beginning of Band Together, they're together briefly, but otherwise, he's going all on his own. I don't know why Tiny Diamond isn't with his dad more. Now, Tiny Diamond is pretty much on every piece of merchandise you can find, even if it's just on the box. He's there. He's like that Boss Baby audio.
Every morning you wake up, I'll be there. Shh. Every night at dinner, I'll be there. Every birthday party, I'll be there. Every Christmas, I'll be there.
But also, I do want to say here that this is not slander towards Tiny Diamond. Do not get it twisted. In this house, we stand Tiny Diamond and Guy Diamond, okay? He has this whole subplot where he actually gets Guy Diamond for his Secret Santa, and he's freaking out because he's like, oh my god, I need to make a rhyme for him, because that's kind of like his thing. You know, they exchange songs together. Tiny Diamond likes to rap. So, you know, he's coming up with this thing, and it just doesn't really work. The flow isn't flowing. So he goes on this journey to meet the Rhinoceros, and who I had canon as Creek's mom. So he goes on this journey, and he finds this cloud mountain. Apparently, if they talk, they poof away, which is really funny. And he figures out, wait a second, it's not me that's the problem. I just needed to change the lyric, because it's really hard to find something that rhymes with diamond, right? Overall, Holiday in Harmony is just so special to me. It has everything a good Christmas special should. It has great music, a fun plotline, and a great moral, and also some really funny jokes, like the King of Rock literally putting up his middle finger, or Mr. Dinkles just being hilarious as usual. The first special is all about the holidays itself and how everyone celebrates differently, and the second one is more about the classic moral of, it doesn't matter how big or small the gift is, it's about what the gift means. And although it may be said to death, I actually really agree with this moral in real life. I think that getting one present that means the world to me is so much better than getting a huge pile of presents, which that's pretty good too. But if we can't afford it, then I don't really mind. It's all about the gratitude, and that is something kids need to be taught nowadays, because, like, where's the empathy? Where is the gratitude? With that said, the addition of the Trollstopia characters is just, I fangirl every time. I loved seeing them in 3D, and I don't know why Waldo is here. Why is Waldo here? I really don't understand. Anyways, I think this is a great special, and I highly recommend checking it out. If you are a Trolls fan and you haven't watched this yet, what are you doing? Go watch it! And it's currently available on Hulu, but that could really change at any point. Before we end off this video, I wanted to pitch my idea for a third holiday special. I find it really surprising we haven't got one yet, considering kind of sad we're all feeling nostalgic over this era already. Anyways, I think the idea for a third holiday special could go something like this. Hit the saxophone, Chaz. John Dory gets his brothers a bunch of presents for Christmas, but when they open them, they seem a bit weird about it. John asks what's wrong, and they explain that the gifts are just a bit outdated to their interests. John got them presents that they definitely would have liked back when they were younger, but now that they're grown up, they don't really have these interests anymore. For example, he got Clay a rubber chicken, and he got Branch something that's just kind of straight up for a baby. So of course, John feels bad and decides he'll go on a mission to get the presents they actually love, even despite his brothers being like, no, it's okay, it's whatever. So, John is going to go on this epic journey. He's going to go to Vacay Island for Bruce. He's going to go to the golf course for Clay. He's going to go all around the world to try to figure out what his brothers would actually like, because he doesn't want to admit it, but he really doesn't know much about his brothers anymore, and he feels kind of like a failure older brother. When he talks to Poppy, Poppy explains you don't need to get him a big gift. You just need to give him something that'll show you actually care. Even if you don't know what he wants exactly, just make him feel like a loved brother. But of course, John's a little stubborn and is like, whatever. Yeah, sure, I'll listen to that. And of course, later on, he'll probably get into some really big trouble, and he'll actually end up needing that advice. And in the end, I'm sure he'll realize that it's not really about the gift, it's about the fact that he didn't care enough. So now he's going to make a bigger effort to actually care for his brothers. And I think a good subplot for this would be Floyd trying to figure out what the heck he's interested in, because then that could give Floyd some much needed character development. Alright everyone, that was my idea for a third Trolls holiday special. Let me know if you would watch it if it was like that. I tried to write it in the way Dreamworks would, if that's possible. Well, I guess more so Walt. Love you, Walt. Thank you for creating this franchise I'm obsessed with. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I literally got it done on Christmas Eve. I have been trying really hard to get it out on time, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Let me know if there's any other things in the Trolls franchise I should yap about, because trust me, I am far from done. I could yap about Trolls all day, and I actually probably will make a video at least talking about Trollstopia if anyone's interested, because like I need to let some steam off, okay? This show is so underrated and overhated, it's actually crazy. But anyways, with that said, I highly recommend checking out these holiday specials. Hopefully Trolls finds a good new home to be streamed on, because there is just such a problem right now. You can only watch the first film on Prime. I think Band Together is only on Prime too. But then you gotta watch World Tour on Hulu or whenever Nickelodeon plays it. Then you gotta watch the holiday special on Netflix and then go to Hulu to watch the second one and then go to Hulu to watch Trollstopia, and Beat Goes On is just gone. I don't know why Netflix is removing their originals right now. They're removing She-Ra, they're removing Band Together, it's bad. It's insane. I don't know what Netflix is thinking. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays. I know that this time can be rough for some people, so I just want to say I'm here for you. I hope this video made you smile or laugh, or at least just make you feel a little bit better if you were down. Make sure to eat, sleep, and drink as much as you possibly can. We made it to the end of the year. You did a great job. It might have been a really roller coaster of emotions year, but I had so much fun, and this was a great month to end off on. I had a lot of fun this month, and Merry Christmas! I love you guys so much. One of my greatest gifts this year is all of you guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Merry Christmas!